Today, we are going on a fascinating journey into the world of a baby's first year of life. The incredible story of how a tiny human learns to control their body. Lifting a head, rolling over, sitting up, crawling, standing. For an OT student like you, understanding these is fundamental. They are the baby's first language to interact with the world. Each milestone is a building block. Good head control lets a baby look around. Vision, social interaction. Sitting up frees the hands to explore toys. Fine motor skills. Crawling builds problem solving. These achievements connect to a baby's cognitive development. As future OTs, your role is to guide. Be a skilled observer and supportive partner. Notice subtle cues. Is one side stronger? Help parents create a playful, encouraging environment. Your work builds a strong foundation for a lifetime of learning. In this guide, we'll break down the first year step by step. This is your field guide. Clear, practical, easy to use. Let's begin with the very first challenge, controlling the head. Let's start at the very beginning. When a baby is born, their head is very heavy compared to the rest of their body. Their neck muscles are still quite weak. If you pick up a newborn, you must support their head carefully. This is because they have not yet developed head control. This is the first major gross motor task they must master. Head control means the baby can hold their head steady without it flopping around. It also means they can lift their head and turn it from side to side. This skill is the absolute cornerstone of all future movement. A key activity for this is what we call tummy time. When a baby is placed on their tummy while awake and supervised, they will start to try and lift their head. At first, it might just be for a second. By around 2 months, they might be able to lift it to a 45-degree angle. By 4 months, many babies can push up on their forearms and hold their head high and steady, looking around like a little explorer. So how can you help? The most powerful tool is consistent, supervised tummy time. Start with very short sessions, maybe just a minute or two, a few times a day. You can make it fun. Lie on the floor with the baby, face to face. Place a high-contrast toy or a small, unbreakable mirror in front of them to capture their interest. You can also lay the baby on your chest while you recline. They will naturally try to lift their head to look at your face. Remember, the goal is always play, not pressure. Tummy time should be a positive experience. Every little effort they make is strengthening those crucial neck and upper back muscles. By encouraging this first milestone, you are giving them their first real view of the world around them. You are opening the door to visual exploration and social connection. It is a small step, but it is the one that sets the stage for every single milestone that follows. Once a baby has mastered head control, built up strength in their neck and upper body, they are ready for the next big adventure, rolling over. This is often a baby's first experience of independent whole-body movement. It is a game changer. Suddenly, they are no longer stuck in one spot. They can change their position and their view of the world all by themselves. Typically, a baby will first learn to roll from their tummy to their back. This often happens by accident during tummy time. They might push up, lose their balance, and tumble over. Later, usually between 5 and 6 months, they master the more difficult skill of rolling from their back to their tummy. Observing a baby who is on the verge of rolling is exciting. You will see them start to experiment with their body. During tummy time, they will push up high on their arms and may start to shift their weight from side to side. This weight shifting is a critical pre-rolling skill. When they are on their back, you might see them bring their feet up to their hands and rock from side to side. They might arch their back and kick their legs, looking like they are trying to launch themselves over. As an OT student, you can suggest simple ways to encourage this new skill. During tummy time, place an interesting toy just out of their reach to one side. This will encourage them to pivot and shift their weight. When the baby is on their back, you can gently take their legs and cross one over the other. This simple movement often initiates the twisting motion in the torso that is needed to roll over. You can then give a tiny, gentle nudge on their hip. Celebrate their success with claps and cheers to make it a fun game. It is important to remember that rolling opens up new safety considerations. Once a baby can roll, they should never be left unattended on a high surface. This milestone marks the beginning of true mobility. The world has just become a much bigger and more explorable place. By helping them master rolling, you are supporting their independence and curiosity. You are helping them discover that their own body has the power to take them to new places. After conquering movement on the floor through rolling, the next developmental frontier is moving upwards, against gravity. This leads us to the wonderful milestone of sitting independently. Being able to sit up without support is a monumental achievement for a baby. It completely changes their perspective on the world. They are no longer looking up from the floor. Most importantly, sitting frees up their hands. For the first time, they can sit and use both hands to hold, explore, manipulate toys. This is a huge leap forward for fine motor skills and cognitive development. The journey to independent sitting happens in stages. At first, around 4 to 5 months, you might see a baby prop themselves up on their hands in a tripod sit. Their back will be rounded. They use their arms like kickstands to stay upright. As their core and back muscles get stronger, they will begin to sit for a few seconds without support before toppling over. This is a wobbly phase. By around 7 to 8 months, most babies can sit confidently without using their hands for support. To encourage sitting, you can provide plenty of safe opportunities to practice. A great way to start is to have the baby sit between your legs. Your legs provide gentle support while allowing them to work on their balance. You can place pillows around them to cushion any tumbles. Once they are in a sitting position, engage them with toys. Hand them a rattle, hand them a soft block. This encourages them to use their hands, which challenges their core stability. Singing songs with hand motions like the wheels on the bus is another fantastic way to make sitting practice interactive and fun. When observing a baby learning to sit, pay attention to their posture and balance. Do they lean heavily to one side? The ability to sit is more than just a physical skill. It marks a social and cognitive shift. A sitting baby can engage and play more actively. They can make better eye contact during conversations. They are becoming a more active participant in the world, not just a passive observer. Your role is to help them build this stable base so they can explore the world with their hands and eyes. Once a baby is a confident sitter, their desire to explore often kicks into high gear. They see a fascinating toy across the room. For the first time, they have a strong urge to go and get it. This motivation sparks the next great milestone: crawling. Crawling is any form of forward movement that a baby uses to get around before they can walk. The classic hands and knees crawl, the commando crawl, pulling themselves forward with their arms while their belly stays on the floor, the scoot, shuffling along on their bottom. All of these variations are perfectly normal ways of exploring the world. The lead up to crawling is honestly a pretty busy time for a baby. You will often see them on all fours, rocking back and forth. This rocking motion is like they're revving their engine, building coordination and strength needed to move forward. They are learning how to shift their weight from their arms to their legs in a rhythmic pattern. This reciprocal movement, moving opposite arm and leg at the same time, is incredibly important for brain development. It helps the left side of the brain to communicate more effectively with the right side of the brain. This process, known as bilateral integration, is fundamental for more complex skills later in life, like writing or playing sports. You can be a brilliant crawling coach by creating an enticing environment. Make sure the floor space is safe and clear of small objects. Then, use motivation. Place their favorite toy a short distance away, or place a caregiver a short distance away. Creating a small tunnel out of a cardboard box or your legs can be a fun game that encourages them to crawl through. Getting down on the floor and crawling with them models the movement and makes it a shared, playful activity. Crawling is a huge step towards independence. It allows a baby to be the master of their own exploration. This newfound freedom is brilliant for their cognitive development as they learn about space, distance, and problem solving. By encouraging crawling, you are not just supporting a motor skill. You are nurturing a baby's curiosity, independence, and growing brain. The world looks very different when you are crawling on the floor, but it looks even more exciting from a standing position. After mastering movement on the horizontal plane, the baby's next challenge is to conquer the vertical one. This brings us to the milestone of pulling to a stand. This usually begins around 9 months of age. A baby will use a sturdy piece of furniture to pull upright: a sofa, a coffee table, a parent's leg. This is a massive display of strength. It requires strong muscles in the arms, core, and legs especially. It also requires a great deal of determination. Observing a baby learning to stand is like watching a tiny mountaineer. At first, the process might be clumsy. They will grab on with all their might and use mostly their arm strength to haul themselves up. Their legs might be wide apart to create a stable base. A huge challenge comes next: figuring out how to get back down. Often, a baby will get stuck in a standing position and cry for help. They haven't yet learned how to bend their knees and control their descent, so sometimes they just let go and fall back down with a bump. Your role is to provide a safe and stable environment. Ensure furniture is heavy and won't tip over. Anchor bookshelves to the wall. Encourage the motion by placing an exciting toy on the sofa seat. Once standing, play games to encourage them to look up, down, side to side. To help them get down, show them how to bend their knees and guide them back to sitting. Standing is not just a precursor to walking, it is a milestone in its own right. It gives a powerful stretch to the leg muscles. It strengthens the hips and core. It offers a new perspective, letting them reach previously inaccessible things. By helping a baby learn to pull to stand safely, you build their strength, confidence, and body awareness for the final major milestone, their first steps. Standing represents triumph over gravity and the beginning of true vertical mobility. Once a baby has mastered the art of pulling up to a standing position, they are faced with a delightful problem. They are standing at the sofa, but their favorite toy is at the other end. How do they get there? This is where cruising comes in. Cruising is the name we give to the sideways shuffling movement a baby does while holding onto furniture for support. It is the bridge between standing still and walking independently. The baby will hold on with their hands and take sideways steps, moving along the edge of a sofa, moving along the edge of a coffee table, moving along the edge of a wall. This is a critical practice phase for walking. Cruising is a complex skill that teaches the baby many important things. It teaches them how to shift their weight from one leg to the other while upright. It strengthens their hip and leg muscles in a way that is very specific to walking. It also helps them practice their balance and coordination. You will notice that at first, their movements are jerky and uncertain. They will hold on tightly with both hands. As they gain confidence, they might start to let go with one hand to reach for something. They might even become bold enough to try and cross a small gap between two pieces of furniture. This is a huge moment of problem-solving and bravery. You can encourage cruising by setting up the environment like a little obstacle course. Arrange sturdy furniture so that the baby can move from one piece to another. Place a low, stable stool a short distance from the end of the sofa. Put an exciting toy on the stool. This will motivate the baby to try and shuffle along the sofa to get to it. You can also stand a little way away and encourage them to cruise towards you for a hug. This makes the practice a fun and social game. Always ensure the pathway is clear and the surfaces are stable. Cruising is the final dress rehearsal before the main event of walking. It allows the baby to experience the sensation of moving on their own 2 feet. It builds not just the physical strength, but also the mental confidence needed to eventually let go. When you see a baby cruising, you are seeing a brain and body working together in a beautiful, coordinated dance. You are witnessing the final preparations for one of life's most celebrated milestones. The moment they take their very first independent step into the world. Throughout this incredible journey from lying down to standing up, the role of the occupational therapist is that of a skilled and compassionate guide. Your job is not to be a drill sergeant pushing a baby through a checklist. Instead, you are an expert observer, a creative problem solver, a supportive partner. Your primary tool is purposeful play. You understand that babies learn best when they are happy, engaged, and motivated. One of your most important skills is observation. You need to look beyond just whether a baby has achieved a milestone. You need to look at the quality of their movement. When they roll, do they use both sides equally? When they sit, is their posture stable? When they crawl, are they using an opposite arm and leg pattern? These details can give you valuable information about their muscle development, coordination, and how their brain is organizing movement. Based on your observations, you then provide support. This support is always tailored to the individual baby and their family. For a baby struggling with tummy time, you might suggest doing it on a parent's chest. For a baby hesitant to crawl, you might create a fun tunnel. Your advice should always be practical, simple, and easy for parents to incorporate into their daily routines. You are empowering the parents to be their child's best therapist. Finally, you are a source of reassurance. It is vital to remind parents that every baby is unique. There is a wide range of what is considered normal development. Some babies will crawl for months, while others skip crawling altogether. Your job is to educate families about these variations and help them celebrate their baby's individual journey. You provide a calm and knowledgeable presence, helping to reduce parental anxiety and focus on the joy of watching their child grow. As we reach the end of this journey, it becomes clear that these gross motor milestones are so much more than just physical tricks. They are the fundamental building blocks of a child's future development. Each skill unlocks a new way for the baby to experience and learn. Head control allows them to see and connect. Rolling gives them their first taste of mobility. The impact of these early movements extends far beyond the playground. Learning to crawl helps the brain hemispheres work together, supporting later academic skills. As an occupational therapy student, you are stepping into a role of immense importance. You have the privilege of supporting children and families during this critical window. You are not just teaching sitting or crawling, you are building foundations for learning, participation, and independence. By supporting these milestones, you help unlock a baby's full potential for years to come. It is a remarkable and deeply meaningful path to choose.